are PrepSpin. We are your school, your sport, your team, your game. Live from the BGO studio. Presented by Mingy Beef Jerky. This is the one and only. The man, the myth, the legend. This is the king of stream. William Warfield.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. William Warfield here with you, and let me grab my headphones on. That's one thing that I forgot to do is put my headphones on before I got on here tonight. And welcome into the show here this evening. We're glad to have everybody tuning in. I know a lot of you have already got online, and you've been waiting for the last few minutes, and we're excited to bring you the show tonight. We got, a great junior from West Jessamine High School, the Lady Colts. Reese Bolton will be joining us here tonight. And then in the second half, we've got Rob Zoeller, the head coach of Simon Kenton. He's going to be joining us here tonight as well. But like I said, Reese Bolton, she's going to be up first. She really needs no introduction at all. I mean, she's a middle school conference champion when she played in middle school. She's a two-time state champion. She's a three-time Final Four appearance. She's made 3 Final Four appearances in her career so far. And then last year, the Colts made it all the way to the Sweet 16 once again. And then I believe she's got a championship over in Italy when she went over there for a tour during the summertime. So we'll talk to her about it here in just a second as we bring in Reese Bolton. And Reese joining us also here from Nicholasville. And Reese, welcome into the show.
Thank you for having me. This is really cool.
I appreciate that. Man, you are loud and clear as you must have a super mic over there.
I get it.
Man, this whole virus situation has got us all out of whack, so to speak, right now. We're not used to being kind of held inside, if you will. We're used to playing sports. I'm used to covering sports. You're used to out there playing sports and everything. But how's this impacted you, Reese?
I mean, soccer is the biggest part of my life, and it's so hard not to be able to be out there right now. I mean, we would literally be on our way to a tournament right now, and I would be so excited.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just been so rough for me, to know that I can't go out there and play soccer with my teammates, get to experience, one of my last seasons with some of my biggest friends who are graduating this year and going off to college. So it's been really hard.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you're doing right now to kind of keep in shape?
So coaches always send us each day. They either send us a workout video or a workout routine that we need to go through. So some days it's a running. Some days it's more soccer based. I also do goal station. So it's this place in Lexington where I work out online 3 weeks, and it's soccer skill, and we also get weightlifting in. So I get kind of both worlds.
Yeah.
Plus the club videos, so I'm pretty much everything that I to stay in soccer shape as I can anyway.
You're breaking up just a tad over there from your feed. I'm willing to bet it's because you probably got a whole household watching the live broadcast right now.
Yeah, my mom's watching it and my dad.
So yeah, maybe we can ask them, hey, watch it on demand so that you won't break
Don't worry
up.
about it. My mom's.
So how is the family doing? I know I stay in touch often with your mom, just hearing some of the great updates that she has to say about you, and how is she doing? How's your dad doing, and everybody, your little sister, how are they doing?
We're doing as good as we can. My dad's really happy right now because without all the soccer, he finally gets to get on the boat and go out and go fishing. He always says that's me and Sophie's fault that we're always playing soccer. Sophie, obviously, she's still training. She loves soccer, so it's hard for her too. But we're trying to have as much fun as we can, being alone at the house all the time because my parents are still working. So.
Hey, what's it like having a little sister and, knowing that she looks up to you and you're like this superstar soccer player? What's it like kind of being her role model?
I mean, she's like my best friend. We hang out every single day, all day. We just watch TV, we work out together. She makes me breakfast. I don't cook. She honestly, it's such a great relationship. I mean, we're so far apart and we're so close. So, I mean, and I'm out taking her to Anna Rexford, who's training her sometimes because she's a keeper. So sometimes when Anna got back from Kenya, when she got back from Kenya, she was like the first person to text me and she was like, "Can I please work out with Sophie?" So I took Sophie to go work out with Anna, and I mean, Sophie had a blast. So
that's pretty awesome.
She loves soccer.
Yeah, you mentioned working out with Anna and stuff like that. Your little sister working out with her, but what about some of the girls that are on the team that are going to be returning next year? Do you still keep in touch with them? Are you able to keep in touch with them right now?
Yes, I mean, not as much as I'd like to. Obviously, most of our bonding is through soccer. We bond as a family there, really, and it's really hard to not see them. Some of those girls are like my best friends, so I'm training with Anna, and I'm trying to keep in touch with people like through Instagram, text, but other than that, it's kind of hard not to be able to see them. So.
Yeah, I heard this. I heard this story. Matter of fact, I actually heard it today. But I heard that when you were in the 8th grade, you actually ended up skipping your Washington D.C. trip and playing soccer because they were playing in the conference championship, and it was a game that you had a big impact on. Can you tell us that story?
So my family paid for the trip. I was so excited. I had picked out my roommate. Me and her were best friends at the time. We couldn't wait to go to Washington. It was the biggest 8th grade trip of the year. And you get to miss like a whole week of school. And then the soccer schedule came out, and there was 4 games that week. And my dad told me, and I remember being like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, this was the big trip. But, I didn't even care to miss it. Like, I don't regret it now. At first, 8th grade me was like, "Oh, they don't need me that much." But then it ended up being the championship game. Our main scorer had strep, so she wasn't able to be there. And somehow I hit 2 huge free kicks, and both of them went in. One of them tied us for overtime, and then the other one won us the overtime. And for the first time in a long time, at least 5 years, we finally won the middle school championship. So I don't regret missing that trip at all. I was really happy that I did that.
Yeah, that has to be one of the great memories, I would imagine, that you've got so far. You were always creating great moments out there on the soccer field. We've got some highlights here, and I'm actually going to play some of those, but we'll keep talking as I'm playing them. You remember the highlight video that we put together for you? Maybe we could talk a little bit about that here for a second.
Yes, that highlight video honestly has opened so many doors for me. It's on my accounts. It's how I show myself to college coaches. It's how I applied for the SC All-American tournament as well. You had to send in multiple clips, so that was the first thing I sent in. But I've also had many coaches, reach out to me because of video, and they were really impressed with that. So, I really have to thank you for that because it really changed my profile and how people look at me. So.
That's awesome. It's always awesome and here's that SportsCenter top 10 too. We'll talk about here in a little while as well. I know you've told that story a million times, but maybe we could get it one more time from you. I saw your mom kind of tweet that out or put it on Facebook or something, and then I was like, man, I'm gonna pin this to ESPN and let them know about that. And the next thing you know, tell us the story of how it went the next day.
Yeah, so, I mean, I never get tired of telling this story. It's crazy, honestly, to look back at it now, but, so, we played this game, we played our rival team East, and I took a corner kick, fully did not, I wasn't really, I don't know how to explain it, like, I just kicked it, and I was like, let's go for it, so I kicked it, and the wind caught it just right, and it went in. And the funny part is the goalie is actually my club goalie. So it's so funny to talk to her about it because every time anyone says something to her, she's like, well, I'm on ESPN. That is the first thing she says. She's always like, I'm the one on ESPN. It's not Reese. And it's so funny to hear her talk about it. But after that, after the game, that was the first joke she made. She was like, whatever, like, I'll get you next time. But and Jordan's dad was the one videotaping it, and I think he's the one who sent it to you. And I remember my mom telling me that night that you had it and you sent it to ESPN, and I remember going to bed thinking, oh, like, cool, no one's gonna actually see it, but it was a great goal. And I woke up in the morning and I had all these Snapchats and Instagrams from random people I've never met. And I was like, I don't want to open all these. Like, I don't know what this is. So finally, I opened one. I opened the top one, and it was like, you're the girl from Sports Center. And I was like, no, you're you've got this wrong. I don't know who you're talking about. And he was like, no, this is you. And he sent me the video that he had screen recorded. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's from my game yesterday. And he was like, haha, oh my gosh. But as soon as I left that chat immediately, and I called my dad, and I was like, guess who's on Sports Center? And he was like, I hope you're kidding. He was like, I don't believe that. And he just did not believe that it was me. I had to send him the video, and he finally believed me. And then I went to school, and all I heard that entire day was the ESPN's theme song, which was like, da-na-na, da-na-na. That's all I heard down the hallway. The people at East were announcing it. The people at West were announcing it on the speakers. Like, everyone at school knew by the end of the day. It was hectic. It was definitely weird to walk down the hallway and people say stuff like, oh my gosh, you're on ESPN. It's like, it was just so surreal. And it was getting on Snapchat and screen recording it and posting it everywhere. And it was just crazy to talk to people I've never even seen before. And they knew me. And I was like, oh my.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
And then we had a game the next day, and that was the PrepSpin interview that I had. I was like, everyone just kept talking about it, and honestly, it was just surreal once again, just like that. So.
Yeah. So you're one of 52 girls that were invited to the Southeast All-Star game down in Atlanta. How did that all happen?
So, in order to apply, you have to get nominated. So, I got nominated by my club coach, and I don't know if you know this, but my high school coach, Coach Wright, is retired right now.
Yeah.
So, his, I guess, replacement kind of interim while he's gone is Coach Rick Garsh. So, he also nominated me. And, I mean, that meant a lot. I had no idea until we got the email from the All-American saying that I was accepted, and my mom knew, and she said she was a secret for me. So then she told me what this was, and I was like, oh, this is a big deal. So basically, you also had to send in games and highlights, which is also what I was trying to say. Your highlight videos and the games that you filmed for me is what I sent to him. Mm-hmm. So it really got me here, honestly. But
well, you got yourself there. I mean, playing out there on the field, and we just been lucky enough and blessed enough to being able to capture some of those moments.
Well, I mean, still think without that, I wouldn't have been able to send it and even get on the team. So basically, what this is it's 52 girls are forming 4 teams, which I'm actually on the West team, which is kind of funny, but. I don't know how they picked that, but So all the girls are from, I think there's 10 or more states throughout the girls section. And so they formed 4 teams, like I said. And the team will play these 3 teams for a weekend in Atlanta. And there's going to be lots of college recruiters there. It's going to be a great way to, get seen, but also play some of the best girls, in the country. One of the girls today, actually, the one from Kentucky, there's one other girl from Kentucky, and she DM'd me today on Instagram, and she just wanted to start a conversation. She wanted to meet me, so I thought that was really cool. It's a good way to meet new people and all this. And she's going to Ole Miss, actually, so all these girls are going to be really good. It's going to be a really competitive field, and I think it's going to be really great for me as a player to develop and to get seen. So
yeah, it looks like a big deal. I was looking it up. Whenever your mom sent us that message that you were invited to that thing, I started looking it up and everything, and it looks like it's going to be the real deal down there.
Yeah.
They're playing at a big Christian school, so I guess it would be kind of like playing at maybe, Lexington Catholic type of field down there. It's got the turf, and but when you talk about all the schools that are coming down there's some big schools that are gonna be there in attendance.
Yeah, I think they've tried to have it to where each division has a show, but I think there are like 6 D1s as of today. There's a few D2s. I think there's a few NAIA, but I mean, it's honestly overall just a really good place for each person to kind of see what they like and see, what fits them. So,
Yeah. So you're also the captain on the Central Kentucky Storm 02 white team. Is that right?
Yes.
So tell us about that.
I mean, I've been on this team since I was in 4th grade.
Right.
I love them. Like, they are absolutely my best friends. They are kind of probably one of the main reasons that I've played soccer for this long was just that team in general kept me going. They kept me pushed, made me want to get better. Some of those girls are going to be my lifelong best friends. We've all talked about just everything together, but my coaches as well, they're like family, honestly. I mean, I really don't know what I would do without that team. It gives me like the confidence that I've always needed to play soccer. They give me like the want to play soccer, the need really, and on like the competitiveness too that you just don't get.
Yeah, is there any other sports that you play other than soccer? Is soccer pretty much it?
No, soccer is it. I've never liked anything else, really. My parents tried everything. Well, my mom tried everything. I was a cheerleader, I was a dancer, but I was very interested. LFC, Javanon, King's Hammer, all those teams. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna step out just for a second for a commercial break. We're having a little bit of issue with the connection over here for just a second, but I'll be right back here once I get this fixed real quick. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
Okay. Drive me to Richie.
I think we got it. Let's see here.
Is that better?
Yeah, let me refresh this over here real quick, and then I'm totally like recording us right now too. So, but yeah. It's Friday night, so the internet's congested,
Yeah, definitely. My friend Elise from the soccer team just texted me and she said, "Well, hey girl, I see you're on the podcast."
She's
She,
a winner.
yeah, she plays for my club team and my high school team. She's the best. So I just want to say hi, Elise.
Do this. We'll start it back. Okay. I think we're good. I was just having some issues with your connectivity, but then I also had some
Yeah,
on
it's
the other
probably
end too. I think everybody is on like Zoom and things like that tonight, and
okay.
I just don't think Spectrum or some of the other providers can keep up with it.
Yeah. I think we're on just the Chrome browser, so it's
Yeah.
probably still our fault though.
No, I'm seeing it on my end too, so it's the same thing. But anyway, we are good. It looks like so. We'll continue here.
Okay, great.
Let me see diagnostic real quick. Disconnectivity. This is live TV right here, right? All right. So again, we are recording, so I'll upload it if there is a big gap in the broadcast there. But talk to us about all your college offers that you've got out there right now.
I've got several. I mean, honestly, I've got some more that I'm leaning more towards, and I've got some that I'm just really having to think about. So I've just been trying to think about me as a person, me as a player, me academically. I'm trying to find something that fits me in all three of those areas because, soccer is my life, but after soccer, I want to be a dermatologist. So I definitely want to have a program that's very good for me. But also, I want to think, if I was to get injured, I want to go somewhere where I'm going to love it as a school as well until I get to play soccer again. So it's a hard decision. It really is. It's very, I've got to think about how far I want to be from home and, if I want to if I want to go places where my friends are going, stuff like that. So I'm just really trying to find something that fits me and like just find something that I'm going to excel in, someplace that I'm going to do my best for. But
Yeah.
I also want to find a school that's, not just also good at soccer. I want to find something that's competitive and is going to push me to be better. So that's really what I'm looking for is all those areas to be, completed for me. So
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. You gotta put education always first, and because you never know. I mean, you could go. I mean, obviously being out there and know the how rough it gets sometimes out there on the soccer field. You never know if you go down an injury or whatever. But of course we don't wish that on anybody. But
oh no.
But yeah, I mean you're I would imagine that you're probably looking for a place where you're getting the full college experience because you're such a great soccer star. But like you said, the education is very important, and you already kind of got it planned that you want to be a dermatologist, so that's a huge thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's honestly really helped me to be able to look at a school and know exactly what I'm looking for instead of picking a school, getting there, falling in love with something, and then not having it. So
Yeah.
I think it's really helped me along the way to already have a plan and already know what I want to do. So.
Yeah. So, what are you looking forward to the most going into next season?
Shoot, there's a lot, but I'm also sad about it too. I mean, senior year. But I want to make sure everyone has a great year. Obviously, I'd love another state title, but you never know. But I mean, of course, I would love to get out there and just play with all of my best friends one last time and, really get to follow like the lead of other girls and other teams that we've had in the past. The state championship teams with Edie and Soraya and, girls like that who have just really influenced every single one of us as juniors, and they've really pushed us to be who we want to be as a team. So I definitely want to look like we're a team this year, and I definitely want everyone to feel like they're needed and they need to be at the game. We need to work our hardest to win. So
Yeah,
that's honestly what I want to do this year.
you'd mentioned like Edie, for example. So I know she's been kind of a big influence on you there at West Jessamine, and I mean, I don't think that I've ever met anybody as as polite as she is, and that's
No,
just
really.
outgoing, and just got that character about her. Of course, she probably gets it from Dad because Dad's into the politics scene. But I mean, she is an amazing person to be around and interview and things like that. So you kind of got some of those same traits.
Oh, thank you. I would say though, she might get it more from her mom. Become like her. She's the best. I mean, Edie is just one of those people who's just naturally a leader.
Yeah.
And she's always been like that ever since I've known her, which was 8th grade. But she was, I think, a sophomore, junior then. But she's always been, like a role model for me as a player and honestly just as a person as well. So.
Yeah. Do you remember, back at the first state championship that you guys won, and then actually in the second one too, because she did it back-to-back years, if I remember right, but she got
she did it both years.
the PKs, right?
She hits them in the same place, always finishes them. I've never, Coach Wright, those 2 years, every single practice, PKs last 20 minutes. That was all we did. And Edie hit every single one. I don't think I ever saw her take a different shot or miss. So she finished every game, and then she even won in the end, 2 state titles for us. So.
Yeah, that was big time.
It must be, yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah. So, who are some of the toughest players that you've played against, whether it be in practice or playing out there against competition?
Definitely Soraya Young. She, when you look at her, you wouldn't even think she's as amazing as she is, but she's so strong. She's so competitive. Like, you just don't beat her. You don't get any better. And also, Audrey this year was a big impact.
Yeah.
She, coming from LCA, she came straight to our team and she changed it, like, from the start. And she's very good to play against. Eva Mitchell, she was here when I was in 8th grade. Used to watch them practice, play with them a little bit, but she was always ahead of everybody,
Mm-hmm. Of course, she was Miss Soccer, too.
Yes. But also, I was like when I was a kid or, middle school years, I played with Erin Gillen. She trained me. She's a women's soccer player now. She is so amazing. Like, I have loved her forever. She's always, coming from West High School as, when she was graduating, she's all Coach Wright talks about. She's amazing. She's always been a role model for everyone on the team, I think. Like, just to look up and be like, someone from West is playing professionally.
Yeah.
But honestly, training with her was intense and just really pushed me. So.
Yeah. And then what about some of your biggest rivalries? I mean, I know you guys would probably say, East-West, but let's be honest, East isn't on that same level that you guys are over at West in soccer, right? Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, we love all of them, but yeah, usually the score doesn't really reflect a rivalry, but it's still really tough against all of them. But as a more competitive, probably standpoint, Sacred Heart, Simon Kenton, Highlands, all those big schools that, we usually wouldn't even play in a regular season, that we always make an effort to play because we know we're going to see them in state. Yeah. And we know we want to be ready. So those are definitely the teams we look out for, and we get most probably, nervous and yet excited to play. So.
Yeah, you guys got on your new schedule, you got a Simon Kenton game that you'll be playing against Simon Kenton. And the only reason why I bring that up is because the coach of Simon Kenton is going to be on here shortly with, Rob Zoeller. So, and you probably know Rob, I'm sure, being in the soccer world there, because he's a big time guy as well, just like Coach Wright is. But Is that a road game, Coach? I can see you on my screen. Is that a road game? Yeah. So you guys will be on the road at Simon Kenton playing against them.
Well, that's awesome. I can't wait to do that, you know. It's always just great to have a really competitive game. You know, obviously someone always leaves more upset, but it's always great to actually, you know, get to play and have like one of those tough matchups where you can't go in and know what's going to happen. Those are my favorite games, really.
Yeah. Well, I think we've covered just about everything. Was there anything that we haven't talked about that maybe we should?
I mean, not really. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
I think we pretty much covered it all. I mean, we talked about, you know, we wanted to make sure that you and the family were doing good. We talked a little bit about the virus and the impact. Talked about your All-Star invitation, which is amazing. Again, one of 52 girls
It's
that
an
were
incredible
invited.
opportunity, really.
Yeah, Brian Kennedy, he did a big story
Very
on you.
excited for it.
Yeah, Brian Kennedy did a big story on you as well
Yes,
from
that was,
36.
I mean, shocking to get him to reach out.
Yeah.
It was very fun to do that. I mean, he's very nice. Obviously, I was a little nervous, but I think I did fine. But I'm very grateful that he reached out to me, really, and, you know, wanted to do that. And I'm very grateful that you reached out as well. But,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
I mean, honestly, I'm just really happy with everything. Very grateful for everyone that's gotten me this far. You know, coaches, teammates, just everything like that.
yeah, well, you totally deserve it. I mean, everything that's coming at you right now, I mean, you totally deserve all the recognition because of the way you play out there on the field, the way you carry yourself off the field, the great parents that you've got that's taught you well. I mean, all that stuff, you know. Just continue up the good work, and we can't wait to see you out there this fall.
Thank you. I mean, I can't wait to play. I'm so excited.
All right. Well, Reese.
Thank you so much for this. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We'll see you out there this fall, and you know, go Colts, right?
Definitely. Hopefully another state win. We'll see though.
All right. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
All right, that was Reese Bolton of the West Jasmine Colts, just a superstar for West Jasmine. And we got Coach Rob Zoeller. He's going to be joining us here shortly. And Coach Zoeller, let me bring you into the program. Give me just 1 second, and I'll make sure that we get you on here. As I was going to make a couple of adjustments here. But yeah, again, you know, talking to Reese and seeing all the great things that she's doing over there for West Jessamine, and I mean she can play both too, defense and offense. And I'm just waiting on this thing to step up to the plate here. Let's see. I took Reese off, and then my computer is like froze. Hopefully it'll come back on here in just a second. But yeah, we always follow the Colts, and you know, Simon Kenton, another one of those teams that continue to do outstanding things here in the state of Kentucky. And Coach is waiting patiently on me. I'm just waiting for my. I can't click anything on my screen right now, Coach. I'm gonna see what I got here.
That's all right.
Well, I'm waiting on it. I shouldn't have upgraded the software before we went on tonight. That might be the problem. Any day now. Well, Coach, we can hear you. So maybe we can go ahead and start talking a little bit till this catches up over here. But talk to us about, you know, how all this has impacted you and all that good stuff. You know, well, all that bad stuff, really. I mean, because the virus has really got us all kind of staying inside right now, don't it?
Yeah, it's definitely a different period. My wife and I are both teachers, so of course we've got our NTI instruction going on, and I have a freshman in high school, and then my kindergartner, and then my little 4-year-old's running around. He's usually at daycare, and Abigail's home from college, so kind of a full house. Maddie's middle daughter is still at boot camp. She's got like 2 weeks left in Oklahoma, um, and then she'll go to Arizona for 24 weeks. So we've been trying to keep track of her and um, keep things together here. But it's the school week's interesting, definitely a little different than normal.
Yeah. You guys, you got a great soccer family. I know how much hard work that you put into it, and I've been up to your practice once or twice, and I just see how hard you work out there, Coach. Where do you get that from?
I enjoy what I do. You know how it is. You do it with your craft there, and when you love and enjoy what you do, it's never really work. Um, and my wife's always been really good about letting me kind of do my thing with coaching, and so it definitely makes it a little bit easier on me. And and then just I've been blessed to have a bunch of great kids on the boys' side, girls' side to work with.
Yeah. Talking about all the stars that have come through your team, over the last few years, you've had some really good players, some really good athletes that's been a part of your program.
We've had some really good kiddos. I was blessed when I walked in here. There were a couple kids that were in the program. Gil had moved with us from Louisville, where she was at Sacred Heart, and and then we've had some other kids along the way that have just been great pieces of the program. We have two this year in our senior class. One's has a spot at West Point, and then another kid's gonna go play at Cumberland's, and they both play on teams that play at a really high level. We had some of the last few years that kind of helped us kind of make our mark. Kids that were freshmen when I got here. There were about 5 of those kids that went on to play in the college level, and so we've been blessed with a number of good kids, and that kind of pipeline we think still is kind of rolling. We get a great class coming in this year, and last year was a really good class. So have a good senior class. One of our seniors just committed to Morehead State, Sammy Prather. So
Nice.
She's I think one of the best center backs in the state, and she should have a great year.
Yeah, I'm pulling up your schedule here on the KHSA. We talked to Reese a little bit about you're going to be playing against them and up there at Simon Kenton. That's definitely a game that I think we want to try to broadcast, Coach.
Yeah, we've got some. We opened the season with South. We just kind of finalized our scrimmages. We have Woodford County, and then Sacred Heart's going to be one of our scrimmages. Their new coach and I are friends, and he was hunting the scrimmage, so they're going to come up. We're going to play him at Thomas More at the beginning of August. And then, we have the normal South and Manual and Notre Dame, Newport Catholic, West Jessamine, North Oldham. And then we're going back to Zionsville and Indy, hopefully to, barring everything kind of sorts itself out. And then the Lex Cath tournament, of course, which is, always a big event.
Yeah, it's always huge right there at Lex Cath event. And I heard that Zionsville is too. Zionsville seems to be like the big.
It gets the national publicity, and typically has some of the better teams from Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. So we're excited. It's always been a good place for us to really go and kind of learn a little more about ourselves.
Yeah. So what's going on? I mean, any big news happening up there at Simon Kenton right now?
Just trying to survive NTI days. And trying to keep our kids, just stay in touch with our kids, make sure they're doing okay, and hopefully they're able to get a little work in around their schoolwork, and just trying to keep them safe. Hopefully they're doing what they should be doing to stay safe, and at some point, I think as a teacher, kind of hope we get back to school before the year lets out, just to be able to wrap things up with our students and
Yeah.
and be able to have some closure to the school year.
What do you teach up there, by the way?
I'm a special ed teacher at one of the middle schools in our district, Twin Hoffel Middle School.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a feeder for Simon Kenton, so I'll see some of those kids that are going to be future players in our program.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you got some returning players that are going to be stars again this year. You probably will be a top 15 team again starting out.
We should. I think we'll be in that ballpark. Got some good news on a kid that's going to be coming in, moving in, and so we're excited about her. But then, we return a kid who dropped like 30 something goals last year as a sophomore.
Yeah, that was
our kids.
Ellie.
Our kids still give her some grief. You kind of dubbed her. You gave her, gave her some nickname at the Lex Cath Cup, and they have fun with her. So superstar, I think we called her. So, and we'll joke about it. And then of course Sammy comes back. She probably had like 10 goals, 10, 15 assists, and
says she had 11 goals last year. Samantha Prather.
Yeah, she might be one of the best kids I've ever had in the air. She's so dominant in the air and strong. So bring her back, and we have some other really nice kids coming back along with her, and then a really exciting class coming in as freshmen. So,
how involved are you? You mentioned that you're over at the feeder program for the middle school, but how involved are you with the middle school team? Are they playing your style, that kind of thing?
We actually don't have a middle school team.
Really?
Kenton County does. Like, they have a kind of an intramural league, and it's typically for kids that don't play club soccer or do things like that. But we don't have a middle school league. I think space is hard to find, and then so many of our kids that play now are playing in club and doing this. So I think it's and it adds added expenses to the school district. So I think it's just one of those things that it's never really taken off here as much as I know. Like in Bowling Green, it's really that stuff is really huge. In the Lexington area, it's pretty big. I know Jessamine County has as well. There is a league in Louisville, CPS does, but I think it's spotty throughout the state, just depending on where you were. I know in Hardin County they did not have a middle school league.
How many of the girls on your team played for the basketball team this past season?
We had 3 kids, but they all were JV and freshman kids. There was the Stamper kid. She played for us as a freshman, sophomore. She was on that Final Four team with us as a freshman, and she played. That may have been the only basketball kid this year on the varsity team that had played with us. But we had a kid that hurt her knee last year as an 8th grader, but played basketball last winter. And it was a JV kid. She sat her freshman year with the knee injury, and she came back this year but chose not to play basketball. And she was on the team previous year. But so we have a number of multi-sport kids there, and a couple that do tennis. So, but yeah, the Stamper kid was a big physical specimen.
Yeah, you had you scored 86 goals last season. Is that a typical season for you, or was that pretty good?
It's been pretty normal. It's been pretty normal since I got here. We kind of set some targets as a team, and one of the big things that probably more so than scoring, it's nice to be in that 80 to 100 ranges. Typically means you're gonna be able to compete at a pretty high level, but then I try to set marks of, can we be under 20 goals in a season? Last year we were a few ticks above that, but typically if you can defend at a high level, you have a chance to be in it. So
I was going to say you only allowed 19 goals.
No, I thought we were slightly above it. Yeah, so, I mean, but again, we had we the year before, I think we graduated 6 starters, and we graduated a keeper that had played basically split time as a freshman, and then her sophomore year, we were senior year last year, she played almost every day, pretty much similar to Rex, what Rexford has done at West, and so we had to grow a little bit, being a little bit experienced in goal, and so we probably started. We played 6, 7, 8, 9 kids that really didn't hardly have any varsity experience last year. We were pretty young,
Yeah.
and we had seven losses we had, and all were like the top 15 teams, and everyone except for one, which we were missing about half our roster. We lost by 1 goal each, and so we really feel like we can turn the corner on a lot of those matches, and so we'll see. I mean, it's we got lots of work to do, and
Yeah, you played Megan quite a bit in the goal, like you said. 23 games she played.
She did. She was a senior last year, so she kind of bided some time and got herself in a good spot. And this year we have an incoming senior keeper that she had a hand injury for a good bit of the year last year, and then we had 2 freshman keepers that we played some, and so we feel like we're in a good spot that one of those kids are gonna win the job. I think the 2 freshmen just need a little more maturing time, and Aubrey will have an opportunity as well. So we kind of like where we are there, and then on the field, we really like what we have coming back, and then some new players that are coming in. It'll be a really good blended mix.
Yeah. So you got you open up the season on August 10th. Is what you got scheduled here. So hopefully we'll be out of this COVID situation by then.
I hope. I mean, Ohio South has already released some preliminary plans to when they plan to open up for baseball. They plan on, if they go back, I think May 4th, they plan on allowing practices to start and for teams to be, and then like by the 9th or 10th, they start games and have like a 3-week season window and then get in. So do I know if that's going to happen? I don't know. We just say a little prayer each night that we can kind of get through this and get back to really just some normalcy for the kids, for our family, for everybody's family. I mean, it just, to me, it's, I would like to see some normalcy. Like I said, I want to get back to school and see the kids that I had, see those kids that I usually saw every day that I don't get to see anymore. So we'll see, hopefully.
Yeah. So South Oldham is your opening game. Then you play on the 12th. You got Walton Verona. Those are both home games. You open with home games.
Yeah.
And then
Walton's
you go.
a district game.
Yeah. Am I echoing back in on your end?
Yeah. No, you're good.
Okay. I was going to say I can turn down the volume that I'm sending you if it's echo, and I apologize.
No, it's not. No. And then we have Cooper, Campbell, Dixie, and then Manual. So it's a
Manual really is your first. Well, I mean, I guess you could say that Dixie Heights and Campbell County would be in. I mean, South Oldham.
South was top 10 last year, easy. They were fantastic. Yeah, they gave Sacred Heart everything they wanted in the. I think when they played them in the Elite Eight or something like that, and Kenny Burke does a fantastic job there. He's really good at what he does, and South has one kid I think committed to U of L, and a couple other they have a couple other really nice players. So they'll be
it again, right?
They'll be a handful. Yeah, they're really good, and Kenny always has his teams. I mean, he is flat out one of the best coaches around. So
yeah. Now you put Manual on your schedule on the 24th, and then Notre Dame as well. I assume that Notre Dame is part of your. Are they part of your district up there or your region?
No, they're not. Our district has Walton and Grant in it.
Okay.
So it's part of the 8th region, and then with the Oldhams, our region goes basically down 71 to Shelby County and all the way over to Anderson, Woodford. That's
it's
our region. So it's
kind of
it's
scattered
a
around, isn't it?
it's a unique region.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but man, we've played. I think ever since I've gotten, maybe since my second year here, we added manual, and it's always a good game, good program. So we try to keep them on the schedule. And then of course Notre Dame is they're a fixture up here in Northern Kentucky, but throughout the state, and they're Dave does a great job with his team.
I guess what I was getting at though is you'll probably end up playing them again in the Lady Knights Challenge Cup.
We could we scrimmage Sacred Heart, and then between Sacred Heart, Manual, and Notre Dame, there's a chance we're going to play at least one of those teams again
Yeah.
in the middle of September. So, because I'm pretty sure it's the same teams as last year. We typically have Assumption. We just couldn't get a date to play Assumption this year. I had to play. We added West, and then I had a local team or two I needed to add, and so we didn't get a chance to get something with Assumption, but we will add them again. And I mean, that Lex Cath Cup is between Lexington Catholic and Tate's Creek and Assumption, Sacred Heart, Manual, Notre Dame, Highlands, and us. It's 3 brutal games.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had years where we've gone 0-3 in there. We've had years where a year where we went 3-0 and won the whole thing. So
Well, yeah. I remember when you guys won the whole thing. That was a special moment there for you.
it was fun for our kids.
Yeah, and so you mentioned the West Jasmine game. That's on September 26th, and then you round out with St. Henry and then North Oldham.
Yeah,
But
North Oldham eliminated us last year in postseason, so that ought to be an interesting game. And they're a good team. Any of the Oldham County teams, they always have some talented kids that play in Louisville, and so it's we like ourselves similar. I was listening to some of Reese's conversation, and Kevin does the same thing. He plays good teams, and it's the way you get better. Even a record may not always be really pretty, but you learn about yourself, and you find out a little bit more about your team. And at the end of the day, if we just keep getting better and win lose, as long as we learn from it, we're going to be all right.
yeah, I mean, when you look up and down your schedule, I know you're playing in some of these high-profile tournaments, like you got the Zionsville and the Lex Cath tournament, but when you look up and down your schedule, you want to face the toughest competition, right? Because that gets you ready for your district and for your region.
It does get you ready for the postseason, and at the end of the day, people, you can be undefeated in the regular season and great, and matters in postseason. I mean, I remember a year at Ballard, the boys side, they give this. We got this trophy, this giant glass soccer ball trophy. For when you finish the regular season number 1. We finished the regular season number 1. We had beaten Sags, Trinity, everybody. We get into our region. In the region semis, our best kid gets a second yellow card with like 2 minutes left in the game. We actually were playing Kenny Burke's South Oldham boys team when he had the boys there. And we got through the game. He had won at 1-0, but he ended up had red and had to sit the next game. And we lost in penalties. And Jacob, at that point in the year, I think he had like 50-something goals. He was basically averaging about 2 goals a game. And, we at the end of the day, that trophy is kind of like a paperweight. It's you're playing for the big trophy at the end of the year. And so I always joke with people, it was nice to get, but the reality at the end of the day, finish regular season 1, congratulations. It's probably not what you're looking for at that point. So, records. I mean, we want to win every game, of course, but we also just want to get better.
Yeah. So, looking over the past teams that have been through Simon Kenton since you've been there, what would you consider your best team that you've had so far?
Well, I mean, of course, I think we went to the Final Four. It was a really good team. I think last year's group was really good. We had a chance to be really good. our Sweet 16 game was just Sacred Heart at Sacred Heart, and gave away an early goal, and then we kind of had to chase the game and ended up losing 3-1. And I think, I mean, this team coming in could be our best team. In 16, our top half of the team was really good, and we had some other good athletes along the way. We're progressing each year of being a better soccer team every year. Kids are doing more things at the club level. They're doing extra things on their own outside of it. And so each year that level of soccer goes up in the program. So I think this year we have a chance. It could be our best team.
I mean, looking at it on paper and seeing, all the kids you got returning, and that's not counting, who you got coming in, like you said, Coach, and then the freshmen. Sounds like you got a good thing brewing up there at Simon Kitten.
I think we're in that, we're in that mix of, at the end of the day, you want to be one of those teams that when you look at it, can you be in that mix of 10 to 15 teams that could win it all? And I think most years, we are considered in that mix. Doesn't always happen. It's kind of like the NCAA tournament. It's draw matters. And unfortunately for our draw, a lot of times, we go through, Sacred Heart. The one year when we got to Final Four with the blind draw, we didn't have to play Sacred Heart. First year here at Simon Kitten, our Sweet 16 game, Sacred Heart, and then in 17 we lost in Elite 8 to Sacred Heart in overtime, and then in 18 we lost at Sacred Heart in a game, and then this year we ended up not getting out of our region. So we'll hopefully.
Yeah, it looks like you got it going on up there once again. I'm excited for you because you're always in the hunt every time or every year that.
I've had a lot of those teams in the hunt. It's nice to
it'd
be nice to kind of keep punching through.
Well, you got to figure the odds are in your favor to finally win it all, right?
I'm hoping. I was, last year was the first time on the girls' side that we hadn't won region. Every year I've been on the girls' side, we won region. So it was 11 years, counting my years in E-Town. So last year was definitely an anomaly of not winning the region and getting to the state tournament. So hopefully we're going to kind of make amends and maybe punch through this year. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm happy for you, excited for you, like I said, and all these great things. Hopefully we get to play. We'll get the preseason in and all that good stuff. And
I hope we get a little bit. I hope we get some summer to acclimate the kids and let them just have some time to be around each other and train and just build the team.
You guys, do you still join the Bluegrass State games when it's out, or?
I think we are going to do it this year. Yeah, I think we were going to do it just to get some games and. I mean, I'm hoping that we have a little, that we get sometime in June to be able to be with our kids. I think that that'll be important. We always love doing our youth camp, getting the kids in the community out and building those future Lady Pioneers and getting them excited about letting them meet some of our players in the program and then be able to get in July and have time with our kids and a lot of our kids normally are doing club all the way into June so it's. To me, from a safety standpoint, I want to have some time with our kids to be able to acclimate them and let them play and not have to just start it and it's like rush instead of having some time to, kind of build the team and get some of that chemistry going. So,
yeah, well, you're doing a great job up there as always, and I can't wait for soccer season to start. A lot of people are waiting on football and all that good stuff. I appreciate the soccer game and. It's always fun to cover those games.
I mean, you cover games, and I know kids love when you're at a game, whether it's our families, where people can watch from a distance, or other families, just even like other Lexington Catholic tournament games, or when you put on West games, or if you're doing a Catholic game, then some Tate's Creek, those things matter. People watching, so those are big things. I mean, I've done this a long time, and. Back in 2001, when I started coaching, being a head coach at the high school level, there weren't these opportunities for kids. So I know the kids enjoy it, and so that's a huge thing. The kids love when you're at games and they get to watch it after the fact. So
I appreciate that. I really do. So yeah, I definitely want to circle that West Jessamine game there on your schedule, and then of course we'll see you at the Lexington Catholic tournament as always.
awesome. Yeah, if you come up, I'll make sure Donato's tries to bring you over a little pizza or something. Take care of you.
There you go. I'll bring you some Mingy beef jerky. How about that?
All right, man. I appreciate it.
What kind of you like? You like the hot or you like the mild? What do you like?
No, the mild. Bring the mild.
I got you.
I can't handle the hot stuff.
I got you. I'm gonna send you a bag.
Right there.
Go that way.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir. That's perfect.
I got
That's
you,
perfect, man.
Yeah, I'll make sure that we get you a bag for being a guest on the show tonight, and we wish you the best, Coach, and keep healthy, man.
Yes, sir.
Keep.
Yes, you too, man. You and your family take care.
Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah, your wife too. I know she's hopping crazy at this point. So you guys stay healthy.
She's doing the pharmacy thing, so it's essential business,
Yes. Well, you guys take care and enjoy that NTI work with your son. I'm sure he's loving it with you.
Yeah. It's a handful, I don't mind it at all though, because let's be honest, I'm not doing anything right now other than this podcast. So
right.
I
know it's for me it slows down things a little bit and get a little extra time with the kids that maybe we wouldn't have gotten. So
right.
Abigail's home, and so it's been fun having her around. And although now that she's been on her own some, she's a handful of times you just have to say, come on, you're not on your own anymore. But Emma likes having big sister around. So, and the boys do, of course. So
yeah,
it's been enjoyable, but I think we're all ready for, something to kind of break and get back to normal.
Yeah. I hope sooner than later, Coach.
Yes, sir. I hear you. Right. I agree.
Well, it's been fun. Man. Been fun talking to you again. And then, like I said, I'll see you. I mean, we'll definitely touch base before the Lexington Catholic tournament, but we'll definitely have at least 4 of your games on.
All right. Abigail, get over here. She's trying to see what's going on.
Hey, Abby, how you doing?
He said, "How are you doing, Abigail?"
Good. How are you?
Gotta be louder than that. I can't hear you. She's gonna pop into the hoodie. I think you might get a little glimpse.
Hey. She's one of the all-time greats that have come through Simon Kenton. I remember. I mean, she was just like a superstar there.
Thanks.
Well, now that you've blown her head up a little bit, we appreciate that. Take her hand for the next few days.
Hey, I wish you the best. And she's still playing college soccer too, right? I mean, she's got another year or two.
She has another year. Yeah, spring season was canceled, so. They're home and doing stuff here. So
I see, man. Well, I'll let you get back. I'll let you get back to your family and all that good stuff. And I appreciate your time here tonight, and definitely we'll catch up here soon again.
All right, thanks, William. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Coach Rob Zoeller.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Coach Rob Zoeller there, Simon Kenton, joining us here tonight, and always good to catch up with Coach Zoeller and all the great things that he does up there at Simon Kenton. And, of course, we had Reese Bolton on here tonight as well. And just always fun covering soccer here on PrepSpin. I miss it. I do miss it. Hopefully we'll get that season started. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I got a ton of messages over here on my phone. We did have a little bit of internet connectivity issues tonight, but I don't know if it's just because it's Friday night. Everybody's on Zoom or whatever that they're using, and it's hard for the cable company where everybody's home to keep up with the bandwidth. I noticed here the last week, so we'll definitely upload a full version of this if there was any. I have to go back and look, but if there was any breakups in the transmission that we were sending out, we'll make sure we get that full version uploaded for you guys to watch on demand. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. It's William Warfield. Until next time, so long, everybody.